Welcome to another episode of Direct to Review. This is Trevor, with to my left here.
You finally did it right.
Yeah, well, Leonard,
Good job,
you're not part
Trevor.
of this podcast. You don't just skip to the next person.
Yeah,
who's part of this
Celeste
podcast with me
is
today?
here.
We have Celeste
No
here, and
Leonard.
that's it. It's just me and Celeste. No one
We're
else.
just here.
Celeste and I. It's just Celeste and I.
Celeste,
You're
me
not
and Celeste.
Trevor.
And her
Who
worser
was
half.
that?
Otherwise, it's mean
worser
Celeste.
half.
And
Celeste
I
and her
don't-
worser
I mean,
half.
she is mean, but you know.
Her worser half.
Oh, Lord.
I think Leonard's pretty mean.
Oh God, yes.
Leonard's
I'm
like a
very
grouchy old man.
He's a curmudgeon.
All right, so we're back for another Foreign Film Friday.
Foreign Film Friday.
Except it's kind of a special
foreign.
Foreign Film Friday.
It's film.
We're taking this a little farther than we normally do
Yeah.
because we're going to do a little special on this one because this movie.
Was foreign film fantastic?
It was, and it was also a foreign film tease.
It was.
I
a
thought it was
tease.
like an explosion, not a tease.
It's a tease because you're like, oh my God, so cool. Oh,
Can you
it's
imagine
over.
having to wait for that second movie?
I would have been pissed.
Okay, so my favorite thing, it was like second part coming out in 2016. It didn't come out until 2017.
Because they took so long to film it.
Yeah, so.
So think about all
They
those
wanted to make it good.
hardcore-
So what's the movie, though, that we're
movie.
talking about in secret to all of our 4 people listening?
It is Baahubali.
Baahubali.
The beginning.
The
Bahubali,
beginning.
the beginning.
Bahubali.
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 Baahubali.
Bahubali. By the end, it just sounds like that because they say it so damn much. So Bahubali is an story set in ancient India. An adventurous and daring man becomes involved in a decades-old feud between 2 warring people. But more importantly, it's kind of like this. I have a hard time describing it because it kind of has this feeling of like. He is the reincarnation of his own father.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I was kind of confused for a second there. I was like, "What? Why
Yeah,
is he
Because they also had the same like
actor play his
the
father?"
Same,
Yeah.
and they also had the same name. They called them the same thing. They had,
Bahubali.
Yeah.
Like they were both Bahubali.
they both had like a
I thought he
different,
was like, "Is he going to turn
first
back into a
name.
baby?"
Right?
right?
I
Well,
was like, what?
The whole last 45 minutes covers the backstory of his father, and that's why.
Yeah.
But it's played by the exact same
Actor.
actor.
Because they're supposed to look exactly alike. That's how everyone knows who he is.
But the brother does have gray hair, though, so I guess that makes sense that the
Right.
brother
Yeah.
is older.
Yeah.
And later, when Bahubali, the son, is older now.
It's not played by the same guy, the brother, is it?
Yeah, it is. That's
It
the
is?
same actor that plays the
Are
young.
you kidding?
No,
No,
not
no,
plays
no.
Bahubali.
No.
I'm saying the guy
No.
that plays old version of the
Oh.
brother.
Yes, I get
yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Come on now.
No.
They used him in every role.
He just was that perfect guy.
So this movie is like a combination of Lord of the Rings and
300.
300 and Les
Or Saving
Mis.
Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan and Les Mis.
And Les Mis, yes. It is probably one of the most amazing little, like, Hindi. I shouldn't even say little. It's quite a big.
Well, I mean, even though its
story.
budget compared to like American films is,
Right,
is
right.
minuscule, but
Mind you, I think that's also the transfer too. Like how much they spent in rupees versus how much it is here in America. Over there, it might have been like a crazy amount.
Yeah.
Versus here, it's 18 million. That is actually considered an indie film budget or a low budget film,
I'll never be able to make indies.
right?
Never.
It used to be $5,000. That was the limit.
that's nothing.
Yeah, and now it's
So
like
just barely
you need to have
YouTube-
$10 million
That's
just to be
barely a
able to do
YouTube
it.
video, 5,000.
Right?
It's barely this podcast.
What?
I was trying to give some sense of like wonder and magic to this thing, you guys.
Now I'm just pissed.
If you had $5,000,
Yeah, we wouldn't have been spending it on
that
this.
could be like Wayne's World. I got $5,000. I got
$5,000.
Okay, Bahubali.
All right, so obviously this thing is so major, so epic. I mean, but the cool thing is that it kind of does split up the movie. Like at the beginning of the movie, you get a little bit of his childhood, a little bit of why he's trying to climb this giant waterfall mountain, or they call it the water mountain.
The water mountain.
And all of the religious aspects of that try to like force him up that way or try to get him to it. And then once he's up there, it becomes this warring like state situation.
It's a
and he-
completely different turn of
Yeah.
like the film. The
film
of the film.
turns just
Yeah.
immediately, and it moves into like this guy who's trying to save someone who we'll get to the creepy smile. Okay, you can't mention it yet.
I don't know. I'm not interested in what the creepy smile was.
So-
Everyone's smile was authentic.
Yeah, kind of. Anyways, and then we get to the ending of the film where it is literally taking you way back to the beginning of like his
To his-
line.
I think it's like
To his grandfather.
I think it's like 40 years back.
Yeah.
That's not way back.
It's
It's
not
like
like
a little
super,
bit back.
but
That's like
it's like
a
when-
generation back.
It's when his dad
Half a
was
generation
a
back.
little boy.
Yeah, it was when his dad was a
It
little
was
boy.
when his
Yeah,
dad was
so that's only
born.
like literally like 40 years.
We don't know how
oh,
old they were.
That's true.
Well, Baahubali is 25, but we
So
don't
his
know.
dad looked about 25 and like that at that point. So it's like 50
No,
years.
he didn't look 25. He was the same actor, so he just looked like the actor.
Was
So
is what I'm
the
hearing.
conclusion, it was like 50 years in the past. When that flashback started, and then it moved to only 25 years in the past.
I think we have so much to cover, and I think we need to kind of like come at this systematically here. And I think the first thing we need to talk about is the reason we wanted to watch a Hindi movie in particular was because we wanted to watch a musical aspect of this. And there is a musical aspect of this, obviously, because it's a Hindi movie, and in a lot of their stories, dancing and singing is a great way of like moving your plot along or really just telling this story. I'm sure there is like some cultural meaning to that I'm just completely like off the mark on. But
It was great.
It was
All
fantastic.
any music in it, even like one that wasn't had singing, but like just like the instrumental.
I got okay. Now
The music like threw me off sometimes.
yes,
I was
because it
like,
didn't always
this
match.
doesn't, like, work
The only one that
here.
felt like didn't work was like the love song
Oh, that was weird.
The love song was weird.
when they had their
The
little
love
like,
song was just weird,
When they
man.
had their little Nala and
when he
Simba
was
type
like
love.
stripping her and like putting makeup on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was using like his
Okay.
fighting skills to be able to like violate her,
her.
and honestly, it was weird. Just weird.
But it was smooth. He was smooth still.
And also, there was so much fog. There were so many fog machines.
So
there
many
was.
fog-
So
Everything
many
was
fog
in
machines and
fog.
Venetian columns. I just don't understand.
Well, that's the only music I feel like another part that stuck out to me with the music was when they were introducing finally the kingdom, and you were like go all these camera movements of the kingdom, and they had.
But
And it
there
was, it's supposed to be like all the slaves.
But
were
here's the
singing.
thing: there were moments where the music would just stop.
Oh yeah,
And that was
but that wasn't
weird.
just the music. That was like when a scene would end. It would
Yeah.
just, like someone would be saying
It would
something and it
just
just
be, like,
stop.
cut.
And that wasn't always the music, dude. That was just like
Now,
overall the sound.
I don't
was a
know if
little
that's
weird.
like something dealing with the way that they had to transfer it over, or if maybe there was more to it.
Yeah.
Maybe something happened there. But honestly, that was super jarring. And there, you would get into the movie, and then that would happen, and you're like, "Oh,
Or
okay."
how about when the movie would suddenly like speed up
Oh
or
my
would
God.
like slow down? It's like
I all of that didn't bother me. I thought the movie was engrossing enough. The story was engrossing enough.
You have your nose so far in the air right now, the way you're talking about that. That did not bother me.
I wrote it down anytime it happened, but I thought the movie was so
so you did notice that.
engrossing, and the characters are so
No, that's the
great
thing, though. It
that
was
I was able to see that, especially all
really
the
good.
terrible CGI.
And when they
Oh,
had
And
to
they
put
just stayed
CGI,
CGI because they didn't want to hurt the animals.
Yeah, they're
But
like,
I was watching it very carefully because every time CGI would come up, she would say CGI
because it would happen when
there
an
was a-
animal was harmed.
There was a part where he pushed a horse and
And
it
the
did not.
CGI did
So it
not
might have been a real
CGI.
horse.
So I think
And he might
pushed
have
a real horse.
actually
They don't give a
pushed.
fuck about horses in India.
It was just when the cows were
The
on
cows,
screen.
and there was a giraffe, I think, that like had CGI.
And there was an elephant.
An elephant.
and then they full on lied at one point. They're like CGI, and I'm like, that is a real horse. That is a real horse. I can tell it's a real horse.
Then
Do
what-
not give me that.
the
I
background
saw.
was CGI. The
I
background.
saw your bull. Your bull was horrible. You
bull-
were not all of a sudden. This budget is going to the horse. No, that's not happening.
No, it went to the bull.
You went to the bull.
There was a couple moments that the CGI was so not great that it looked like it was stop motion. Honestly,
I thought
Honestly,
it was
yeah.
like,
like when they were in the water, like there was like the way the water would like hit up against them. It was like
Because they did the green
Or-
screen or the
Yeah.
blue screen or
Or
whatever the hell.
fuzzy.
the snow when
And it
they
looks-
were doing the snow scene and it was like falling and like you had the aerial view of
Oh,
the,
yeah.
of
this
the
movie had a little bit of
avalanche
everything.
coming
That
down.
felt kind of Indiana Jonesy to me. That scene.
I thought it looked like a kid's movie.
Yeah, because you're going down the mountainside in a sled.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was a piece of bark.
With
piece of bark.
CGI snow.
Okay, but aside from all those very odd and glaring CGI issues, which, come on, if you're going into this wanting like blockbuster CGI, you're just going to be disappointed all over the place.
Yeah.
It was a story that really kept you engaged. And it was it would usually be like, oh, they're slowing down a little bit, but then bam, a crazy fight scene would happen, and you're like, what did I just watch? Besides just something being super badass all of a sudden.
Should we explain what the movie is about a little bit more?
I have no clue how
Okay,
to, but if
so
you can,
this
go
is-
for it.
So, there was this baby,
There was a baby,
Baby.
Baahubali.
Bahubali.
Bahubali.
His grandmother took him down the mountain, or was it his mom?
That was his
That was the
mom.
Or was it the
Yeah.
I think that's going to be
mother?
explained in part 2 because the mother,
But the mother
his aunt
is
was
there.
took him. The mother
Okay,
died.
so
His
it's
mother
the
is
aunt.
dead.
Right.
No,
No, because
His
she
dad's
said,
mother
"My
is dead.
son
His
is
mo-
coming." So I think it was the grandma.
she called him.
Yes,
son.
yes. It's the grandma.
Okay,
it's the grandma.
so grandma-
Because the mother,
The
he
grandma
rescued.
died. The grandma died in childbirth. His dad was born to a remember.
Stop saying remember.
Okay. So here happened. Here's what happened. Bahubali, the dad,
Yeah.
not the main character. Bahubali, the dad. He was born and the mom died, and
Correct.
his dad was king, and then
Correct.
that king dad. Then his mom died
King
in
dad
childbirth. Yeah, Bahubali's.
So who was that one chick?
That was
the
his aunt. That was the
Okay.
brothers. Bahubali, the original king. That was his brother's wife. That also had their son.
Oh, I
Okay.
got
So
you.
then
I got you.
Bahubali, the
Okay, that was
dad,
his aunt that died at the
That
beginning
became
of
his
the
wet
movie.
nurse, his aunt.
Okay,
Yeah.
got
so,
you.
So the aunt
Oh my God.
carried Bahubali down because they were trying
Bahubali-
to kill him.
Yes.
Bahubali's
Grandson,
baby,
grandson.
Grandson Bahubali.
Main character.
main character of the first
Why are
part
they
of
all
the
named
movie.
Bahubali?
They're all named Bahubali. Bahubali Jr.
We need to start giving like Bahubali A, Bahubali B, something like that.
So
Prime.
so
Prime.
she
Oh my
dies
God.
after killing a couple of soldiers, mind you.
Yeah, she's
She's a
badass.
badass.
She was
Killed them.
badass.
She was every woman in here was a badass.
They were such badasses.
I think we never got introduced to who Bahubali's mother was, though.
No, because
No.
Prime. Bahubali.
she kind of just shows up a little bit later.
I think she's gonna be part 2
So he gets raised by these villagers. He tries to climb
at the
up
bottom of the mountain.
the water mountain.
Which is a very reminiscent of like the whole Mount Olympus sort of thing, going up to the gods, because the city, I can't remember the city's name. Do you have it written down?
I do not. I've Katapa written down, but not. City.
Okay, well, the city was a real city that
It was something with an M. It was like Mahal
Yeah.
Malujwe.
It's like their
That was
major
terrible. I'm
city.
sorry if I offended
Right.
anyone.
Wow. And now
It was
we
a
have
really
no-
long M word.
It was, but the city was a real city, and it was where
Mahismata.
yeah,
Masimati.
and when
Mahismata.
I looked it up the first time, I guess the ruler of it had 12 hands or something like that in the
Shiva?
actual story.
Was it not Shiva?
It was not.
Shiva only has 6
Shiva
hands.
is the destroyer of worlds.
But that's who
And
they worship.
also-
That was like the patron god of that
Yeah.
city.
And
Yeah.
also, Bahubali's name is Shiva.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
his
In the
village
village.
name. His village name.
His village name is Shiva.
Because
Shiva.
they would point to the top of the mountain and say that's where Shiva was, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bahubali means the one with strong arms.
Yes, the one throwing arms. That's another movie. This kind of reminded me of Hercules a little bit. This whole
Right.
Oh my God! Yes, there's a
This is
lot in here.
Hercules.
There's a lot in here. Okay, anyways, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Try to climb
So
Water
he-
Mountain.
So he finally gets up Water Mountain.
After sacrificing, not sacrificing, but moving Shiva's
Shrine.
underneath the waterfall
That's
There
not
you
why
go.
though. He finds a mask and he's like, "Oh, there's a chick up there. I'm gonna
because
get up
of
there."
Shiva.
Yeah,
Because of Shiva.
but the mask didn't come from Shiva.
It did come from Shiva. It
It
came from the
the
top
woman.
of the water mountain.
It came from the lady
Have
up
you
there that
ever
dropped
heard
it.
of
Divine intervention.
yes, divine intervention? That's what that
You
was.
shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth, Trevor.
Finish. Continue.
So anyway, he falls in love with this chick and he sees her. He's like, I bet that's her. I only have her mask, but I don't think that's what she looks like, right? Yeah.
Right.
So she's part of this warrior tribe that's against the...
Which when he met her, she was being chased by a bunch of
Yeah,
guards.
so she is part of this warrior tribe that's against the regime that's in charge of the...
Bahubali B's brother.
Go ahead.
You know, the city. Yeah, so they're in charge of there. They're like, we gotta go save the princess. He's been locked up there
queen.
forever. They
queen.
call her
No, they call her the
princess,
queen.
did
No, they
they?
call her the
And
queen.
you know what?
Oh.
That is
That's the hard
Bahubali's
part.
mom. That's
Yeah.
Bahubali's mom.
That's
Yeah.
Bahubali. Yes,
The
yes.
Prime.
Because she's
Bahubali
locked
Prime.
up in the middle of the city. They give her a long chain.
She picks up many twigs to make a funeral pyre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So yeah, he joins them. He falls in love with her. They like have their love scene.
And then they find out that he is the heir to the throne.
He gets the P and the V.
And then we go
He
back.
does do that.
Then we go back.
Then we go back in
then
time.
we go back to the.
What years completely skipped over my favorite character?
What?
Katatapa.
I like to until the end.
Well, we're gonna find out why he had to do it. So we're not gonna spoil. What are you thinking?
I'm just thinking about what people are thinking about us currently as we say these words and fail.
We're doing our
so
best.
hard.
We're not trying to offend anyone. This is what we see the
This
letters.
is the language that I have.
And
no,
I can't pronounce half the words in English. Like any words in English, I can't pronounce them. I mean, I make up words too. So
and I also
I
have
see
no introduction to this.
Katapa.
Katapa. Wasn't it Katapa or something like that?
Katapa.
Yeah,
Katapa is a slave that's forever.
He's sort of like a slave warrior.
Yeah, and he's,
And he's like a crazy,
royal family.
strong warrior that can like defeat anybody.
Yeah,
He's awesome.
and he's willing to break his oath though to release the queen, but she doesn't want to get released.
Yeah,
the
she's
queen of the
like-
warrior clan.
And
like,
the
no.
ending has to do with him.
Doing something
Doing
real
something
bad.
Really,
bad.
really
But we don't know
And
why.
you're
What if he
like-
was forced? What if he has a family that they were? Okay, I'm not gonna. Talk
That's the thing, though.
We don't
know
know
why
why.
he did what he did.
And
Which
it-
we're
and
we're
then-
going to talk in code here because
it was like,
you need to watch this damn movie.
Part 2 coming soon, and I'm like, no, I'm here for this now.
And
Right.
Part 2 is another 2.5 hours.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
And this movie, what was it?
2 hours and 39
like
minutes.
38, 39. Oh, Traverse
You guys watched
was
the 38
39.
version. I watched it 2 hours
Okay,
and 39.
this movie is in
version.
3 languages.
This movie has
in
so many
Netflix.
languages. It has Telugu,
That was the original one. That was the original.
Telugu, Tamil, and Hindi.
And then also Netflix has another version. It's like
Well, we're not going to concern ourselves.
Malayalam.
You couldn't say it the first
I watched.
time.
I watched
it.
the first 10 minutes of every version to find out which version I wanted to watch.
Oh. So you wasted
you-
time. Look at you.
Watched a half hour
I utilized
more.
time to my.
All right, so-
advantage. Tamil's the best version.
So
You
anyways,
watched Shindy.
we...
Losers.
Come on now. Does it matter? That doesn't matter.
no.
Anyways.
Well,
Anyway.
if it did, you guys would be.
In the Hindi version, when his village dad is like, "Oh, look at the flowers," and when he turned to the Tamil version, I think it was, he was like, "Oh, look at the like death flowers or
Okay,
like the death."
you know
Yeah,
what?
they got more
thing."
specific.
There was a moment when there was like the rocks, they're blocking the passage to the top of the mountain,
Yeah.
which was an easy way to get to the top of the mountain that was blocked by the mom. And she was like, "Do it, or I'm gonna step on your heads." In the Hindi version, in the Tamil version, she was like, "Do it, or I'm gonna slit your throats."
Oh,
It was vicious.
Vicious.
Wow, that's kind of cool. I kind of like the way that that we're getting to learn about this culture, honestly, because I feel very dumb as I watch these because I'm like, I don't know
Right?
enough.
I know
really need to
nothing.
know more.
I'm like big-eyed and bushy-tailed and
Exactly, it's so amazing. To all those who are listening to this, they're going, "Wow, they're complete idiots and they don't even try to look outside their bubble." You are correct. You are very correct.
This is just a bubble I've never
All right, so
encountered.
we tackled the singing, we tackled the story, but now we need to tackle the individual characters because I think we definitely need to talk about Baahubali in just general, both A and B, because
Junior
it's-
and senior.
it follows like the
Junior.
original story. Well, for Senior, the original story pretty well with him being like supposed to be like a master yogi, and he's supposed to be very intelligent, very well read, very like he always thinks ahead of everybody. He takes his time. He's about honor and he's about all this, and it shows the other side, kind of like the whole. Is Cain and Abel?
Cain and Abel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Cain and Abel stories because there's those two impulsive differences.
Like
in the same
every
thing.
brother rivalry ever.
Basically, exactly, because he's more calm and he cares about his people versus his brother who runs a large weed whacker into them.
That was crazy.
That was.
That
I
was
love his
insane.
weed
That was
whacker.
amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a
action
weed whacker in
standpoint,
this. You know
on the
this.
front of his carriage.
Yeah.
It was part of his
Or what-
chariot.
Chariot. There you go. Not a carriage.
His thing,
On his way to the ball.
the pumpkin.
All right. I think the ant kind of set them up for failure, though. It's like you can't put two guys against each other to be king and expect them to be fight fair. It's like she should have just picked one from the baby. He should have just made Baahubali in line to be king because his lineage it was his dad that was king and his mom that was
Right.
Yeah.
But here's also the other thing was she didn't. She kind of teased him, the brother, whose name I'm not even going to attempt to say.
Oh man, it was something with a B too, though.
It is. It's right here. This one. Yeah, exactly.
Bahaladavya.
There we go.
Bahalala Deva.
So the guy who plays it, his name is Rana. So his Rana,
Yeah. Rana's character.
Rana's character. He gets kind of teased. They're like, oh, I killed this general, so that's therefore I am now king. Right before he's about to get crowned king, she goes, "You are now the
head of
the
military."
But she never
military."
agreed to it though. Like that was just
No.
his dad. Like, okay, whoever kills the king, like the dad that's her husband, who's no one. He's just the brother of the original king.
Correct. Yeah.
Bahubali Senior's father.
So and the thing was that Bahubali was always supposed to be that. Oh, by the way, apparently his name is not Bahubali.
What's
It's
his
Shiva.
name?
She.
That was his village name.
But what they're showing. So his dad's name is Bahubali, and then he is
Shivudu.
yeah.
Oh.
I guess we could call him by Shiva.
But
Shiva.
He was called
but
by
like
Shiva.
the whole
So Shiva Bahubali.
He's called Bahubali.
But that's the thing. I think it's supposed to be
It's
reascended.
kind of like his last name too.
Yeah.
Because even Shiva's dad's father was something else than Bahubali.
Yeah, than
it was like he
Right,
had two
so
names.
it's a surname.
Yeah.
That's what I remember us talking about that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you kind of set him up to become super evil, even though they worked together pretty decently.
He never had a chance. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like he had to get where he wanted to get, and his dad always in his ear. It's really his dad that's the evil dude.
Yeah,
And
because he
his
felt
arm
he was
was
always
interesting.
being made fun of.
Yeah, the
because
dad
he was crippled.
Yeah, the dad had a crippled arm, so he thought that's why he wasn't king.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was the older brother.
Yes, he
And-
was.
Yes.
Then OG.
I'm assuming, and now this is complete speculation, that he killed the original king.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah.
I have that feeling that we're going to find out in
Scar.
Bahubali 2, The Conclusion.
He's the scar. Yeah.
By the way, it is actually called Bahubali 2, The Conclusion. I didn't just make that up. It's literally called.
It's that.
They are making this very easy to figure out which one you watch first and then which one you watch last.
Preach.
So Shiva Bahubali definitely is the most complicated character. He has the most sides to him. He's kind of like a big child
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can talk about the creeper thing.
Oh yeah, who's the creepy
His
small?
porn stash.
His
Oh,
porn
his porn-
stash
all
and
of
his
them have nice
smile.
I
stashes.
was like, this is how porn starts, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he would rip things
He
off
has
and he
really
was like,
tiny nipples,
smile.
too. When he was in the waterfall, his nipples looked really
Why
small.
are you looking at his
Because
nipples?
they were
I
just
didn't
there.
notice his nipples, Trevor.
No one
He
noticed
was
his
when
nipples,
he
Trevor.
moved the Shiva statue to the water fountain. He did his little
Oh.
dance. His nipples were really small at that moment.
Oh.
It was probably cold.
I didn't even notice. Okay.
Just pointing out a fact. Just pointing out a fact.
Pointing out a nipple fact, because, you know,
It's
you
a
gotta
nipple
let the
fact.
nipples
18
go.
minutes in. 18 minutes in. I know this because that's when I switched back into the other versions of the movies.
Wait a minute. Why are you looking at the specific time for nipples?
No, it
Were
wasn't
you-
that time.
were you,
That's
like,
why
waiting
I
for-
paused and I went to go observe the other versions of the movies to see which one
To
I
see
liked
which
better.
nipples you liked
But I
better?
knew that I was like, I looked
His
at him like,
nipples
okay,
change between Hindi and Tamil. Which is it better?
no.
Yeah,
No, it's
tinier
it's
nipples in Tamil.
It was
so
right
that's a
after
good
that
one.
dance was over that I had paused it to go look at the other versions, and I knew it was like 18 something.
Sure.
I mean, he's shirtless throughout a lot of the movie.
Yep, and you're looking at his nipples apparently.
Just that
That's
moment.
fantastic.
right.
Oh
He
my
was
god.
ripped, though.
So these other what other characters? I liked character. Like I said, my favorite character was Katapa.
And then there
Yeah.
was the badass chick. What was her name?
Avantika.
Avantika or
Avantika.
something.
Avantika.
And she was just
Avantika.
a warrior.
She was a warrior in the
Avantika.
warrior tribe, but he's the one that
She was killer,
he
though,
got
literally.
jiggy with.
Cheeky.
Got down with Shiva.
Can you feel the
Shiva
love
Bahubali.
tonight?
Oh lord.
Yeah, that's honestly what that
Yep.
musical number felt like to me.
Right? I'm just
And-
like, okay.
His mother,
Devasana?
Devasana?
Yeah.
Devasana?
Princess Peach.
Hopefully, we find out how she got with his dad Bahubali.
I just want to know. Well, that's the thing. Is it the fact that she got with the dad? Because they were saying that she was being adulterous. That's why she
I-
was.
so
in
maybe
the
they never
court.
got married. Maybe
No,
they just
no,
like
I feel like this is my theory that she was with the brother.
Yeah, I thought she was with the brother.
And then she had a baby with Bahubali.
ooh.
That's
because
what
that's what
I
she was trying to.
think.
That's her
Yeah.
theory.
That's a good theory.
That's a good theory.
Because they
Yep,
basically
yep.
said that in the movie.
It
but-
basically did
I did
because
not
they were
catch
like,
that.
"You're an adulteress."
No, because you were looking at the nipples.
That was a
You
different
got
scene.
the nipples.
No, apparently it was. shirtless all the time.
The other musical number, the dad Bahubali and the brother, when they go to like the thieves city.
Oh yeah.
That was very
weird.
it felt kind of like Aladdin
Aladdin mixed with Chicago.
Yeah. Because it was like the thieves singing and then.
Yep. You know what? There were so many beautiful moments in this movie just because of the colors.
Oh yeah.
So
The colors were so
beautiful
vibrant.
colors.
And I know
Sunsets were
that's
never
their
just yellow or
culture, but-
orange. They always had like 10 different colors.
Oh my god, it was so amazing. And the thing was, okay, but there is one color that we need to talk about, which is slightly pink. Because anytime something
I thought
bad
that
would
was
happen,
kind of red.
It
I
was-
think it was
it was-
supposed to be kind of
I
red.
can't see reds.
Lightish red.
Yeah, so it was a
can't see
red.
reds.
Yeah, Leonard can't see reds. Okay, story
It's a
time.
broken man.
Leonard can't see reds, and I actually forgot the reason why.
I can't see reds because my eyes are stupid. Anyways,
He did it somehow though, but I forget. So he
So
can't,
what is
like,
reds?
He
to
can't
you?
see
The
how
pink?
red his
No, it's-
phone case is.
it's,
Like you
it,
know how
it
red
doesn't
this is?
look
He can't
as
see it.
intense as everyone else.
Oh,
sees
just
it.
dimmer. Yeah.
Yes.
Like
kinda muted.
Mickey Mouse red, which is the color that Leonard has everything in. He doesn't know what kind of red that is.
I was pretty sure it was orange.
It's a very muted
Yeah.
color. Kind of.
So, anyways,
Low saturation.
But that would always appear on screen. Like the entire screen would turn awkward red, just like pop on and then
yeah,
pop
when
off.
something bad happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
just
Yeah.
at the moment.
It would not set the moment.
It
In
was
fact, it
like-
would just piss me off.
it was
Because I'm like, you had beautiful color. What happened?
No, it was the equivalent of the dun dun in like Law and Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We need to recut this movie so that every time that happens, we put dun dun.
Dun. Yes.
Oh my God, this is happening. Anyways.
The massive battle scene that happened, it was really
It was
cool.
really long.
Yeah, it was like the 35-minute battle sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like fed the dogs and I like walked
She's not a
away.
big fan of action.
It was just
Me,
a
on the
lot
other
of
hand, I
riding.
was
No, but like
enjoying it
seeing them
greatly.
like war plan for it and then them
Yeah.
execute it and then Bahubali inspiring them when they're like falling down. I mean, it was like
They
I have
were
to-
fighting. Oh, you're probably gonna say this.
for it.
The one-legged guy.
There were many people
He got
without
up.
limbs.
He got up.
Liz,
Okay,
he
when
got up and
Ba-
kept fighting.
Bahubali
like,
inspired
wow.
this guy to get up on one leg and continue fighting.
We're wimps.
That to me says more about his character than anything else in this movie. When someone's like, my leg is cut off, and he says something like, I could tie this off and keep fighting. I was like, okay, well then you're actually
What
kind
a
of a badass.
leader.
I want a story about that guy now.
And there was another moment. The dad of Balam, something, his brother.
Shriveled hand guy.
Yeah, shriveled head. Yeah, set Bahubali up. Even he was trying to make him fail. He gave him like the weak ass like the what are those called?
The arrow machines? What are you
Yeah,
talking-
the
or
catapults. Yeah, he gave him like the catapults that were meant for like knocking down a wall.
Yeah, for Siege.
Yeah, for siege. But Bahubali still figured it out. He used tents to.
Set people on fire,
It was
which was
amazing.
very, very intense.
Yeah, that was awesome. Those shots were really
Intense.
cool. Yeah.
Fire intense.
And I mean, their enemy kind of came out of nowhere. They had 100,000 men. They were like ridiculous, huge army
Right.
that just like
And
kinda
then
came out
it
of
made me
nowhere.
realize that I don't know what India's enemies were.
Yeah, themselves, I guess, because they were so big. It was probably broken up into multiple.
Probably, yeah.
Version
India's
countries and-
enemy was always the British. Get it right.
I mean,
Well, that happened later.
this is like ancient.
This is before
Yeah, okay.
they were like gonna conquer them.
Yeah. So
I think I may be saying something that a historian
Do
would go.
you know
"Wow,
when they conquered them? Because I don't.
Shut up, shut up.
I just can't wait for like a one-on-one combat between Bahubali and his uncle. I guess he would be.
That's gonna be
Or
amazing.
Shiva
Yes.
because like everyone that they face, they'd always be facing like 10 guys at a time because they're all so overpowered. And we kind of got a little bit of that with Shiva Bahubali and Katatapa when he was trying to defend his son, the uncle's son.
Oh, one of the princes
Yeah, the prince.
didn't work very well.
Yeah. Because even then
Cut his
Bahubali was like
head
just
off
he just
pretty
was able to
quick.
like get out of that pretty quick.
All right, so this movie is absolutely incredible. Obviously, we're gonna watch the second one.
Yeah.
Because we have to. We can't just watch the first one and then be okay with not getting to the ending of this.
I mean, I would go
I
home
have
and watch the second
questions.
one like now if we weren't going to watch it for this.
But seriously, I mean, it is absolutely awesome.
The cliffhanger is worse than any. I don't know if I was like,
Right?
what's one
It's
of the
like,
worst cliffhangers I've ever seen?
Tune in next week, kids.
Like,
Except it meant like tune in a few years.
What was the end of Two Towers again? That was.
That one just kind of pulled away, but it still left you with a little bit
There
of
was
resolve.
that's when
They were
at the end of.
they were going to go into Mordor at that point.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, at least I know where they're going. I kind of have an idea here. But this one was like, it was me. Come. I was like, what
Done.
the hell?
Even like the Hobbit didn't even like the Hobbit when he's like the dragon takes off and he flies and it's like
Yeah.
that was pretty big blue balls though because I want to see the dragon fight and then the dragon
Right.
just starts
And
taking
then
off
it like
and
goes
flight.
away and you're like, come back.
I was so mad I didn't see the next Hobbit. I still haven't seen it. I know it happens.
Aw,
I just still
that's
haven't
a
seen
really
it.
good one.
I know it is. I
Trevor,
was so
go
mad.
home and watch
I was
that.
You can't
so-
watch Baahubali 2 until you watch that.
the five that was my favorite. There was this little animated version of The Hobbit.
Oh my god, that's the worst version.
That was my
ever created.
best. That was my favorite.
No.
The woodland elves are so freaking creepy.
No. It's horrible.
Those were-
it was
that
made
was
in the
awesome.
70s. Everyone's
those
seen that, and it
animated
sucks.
films are
I've
so
never
good.
seen
sucks.
that.
No, that was so good.
Wow.
So good.
You know what? You really do just like any movie, don't you? It moves on screen. Oh my god! How did they do it? Like, come on!
It's movie magic.
Have some self-respect, man.
You like weird movies. You.
Leonard does like weird movies.
I like weird movies, but I also hate movies.
I don't know. Like, there's movies I don't like.
Like
Like
what?
what? No pressure.
The one movie we watched.
Which one?
I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name because I don't
Let's
like
Be
it.
Evil?
No.
Let's Be
the
Evil. I didn't like
the
Let's Be Evil.
beginning ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
We don't talk about those
Hey,
days.
Z
Speaking of
films.
Tommy Wiseau, he's coming out with a new movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's riding on the coattails of the Disaster
Yeah.
Artist.
Yep.
So
I saw the
oh
trailer
my
for
God.
it. It looks
pretty bad.
pretty bad, but I want to watch it.
So I guess okay. First off, let's wrap this up and then we'll talk about something
Yeah,
real
okay.
quick here. All right. So obviously we love the movie. We are going to continue talking about this movie in the next episode of Foreign Film Friday, where we're actually going to call this the special because
Yeah.
this is Baahubali, the beginning. We definitely have to get through Baahubali, the conclusion. So we will bring you that next week, and it's going to be amazing because I plan on having a little bit of a surprise when we get done with it. So,
I love surprises.
prizes.
Oh.
So, rate the beginning. I am giving it. Get ready for this.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I'm giving it 10 Baahubali Goldblums
Oh.
Oh.
out of a possible 10 Jurassic Park Goldblums
Ooh.
because life finds a way.
You're just so excited they said that in the trailer.
I'm so excited for the new Jurassic World. Go for it, Celeste.
Thanks. I'm gonna give this a solid 4 elephants out of 5 poor horses that were not CGI.
That was such a lie.
CGI!
See you.
10 out of 10 nipples.
Pointy.
Small or
nipples.
big?
They're the best nip. They don't have to be. It's small and they're all beautiful nipples.
All beautiful.
Small or
Oh,
big?
All nipples are beautiful.
All nipples are beautiful in their own way.
That was beautiful, Leonard.
All right.
Oh,
Anyway,
one more thing.
what?
Didn't like some of these moments of this movie feel very anime too?
Yes.
they did.
Oh yeah, there was
It was
Very-
like with
very
the
Super Saiyan
Super
moments.
Saiyan.
Yeah, like could be like graphic, a graphic illustration for sure.
Yeah.
That one moment when like the fighting the other king
Yeah.
threw a lot of bodies onto the Baahubali. He just like pops out of him. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's like flying through the air all slow motion.
Kamehameha!
Yeah, it was amazing. Even the way he was like throwing the bodies, like slowed down, just and like threw all the bodies onto him and piled them on. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, this is awesome.
All right. So there's something I've been wanting to talk about. Trevor and I attempted this podcast with another movie. I feel like it's
The
time.
unreleased episode.
The unreleased episode.
Won't
I feel
come
like
out
that we
either.
need to. No, that is never coming out. But we need to talk about this for a brief moment. I don't even remember what the name of the movie was. Do you?
Oh man, it was like The Mist. No,
No, that's a good movie, and that's with Stephen King.
what was that movie called?
Oh, it was a Tommy Wiseau movie.
It was a Tommy Wiseau movie.
Hold on, I can just pull up Tommy Wiseau, and I'm sure it'll be on there because he has like 5 movies.
So he's really a heavy hitter, is what I'm hearing.
He is.
It had-
I like that he is now being really like scene as as a real MVP on IMDb. It was called Cold Moon.
Cold Moon.
All right, so let's talk about this.
Oh man, what was the plot? Okay, I remember now.
Cold Moon was about a ghost spirit, angry demon thing. Oh, girl.
That was not really even. I mean, she was.
I honestly. So, I don't know where to begin talking about that movie. So it's called Cold Moon, and it's a Tommy Wiseau movie, and you can tell it's a Tommy Wiseau movie because it was poorly made, and it's about
like
a little girl,
not
a
even
girl
B
who
movie,
was
it's like a D
murdered.
movie.
Yeah, and it was Tommy Wiseau apparently wasn't the murderer, even though I thought he was, because he only shows up once holding a snake. He showed up once holding.
I even forgot he was in the movie.
He was in the movie. Oh my god!
It had what's his name from Back to the Future.
Actually, it had a few different people in it. Let me pull it up really quick. I believe this is the one with the guy from Stranger Things. No. Oh, it had Christopher Lloyd. That's right.
Yeah,
and the guy from Stranger Things.
Which guy?
Which guy?
Chester Rushing. He actually plays... Hold on, I can pull it up. Stranger Things, he plays Tommy H. He's not a big character.
Yeah, I was like,
Obviously not.
Tommy H is.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the synopsis on this here. In a sleepy southern town, the Larkin family suffers a terrible tragedy. Now the Larkins are about to endure another. Traffic lights blink, an eerie warning. A ghostly visage prowls in the streets, and graves erupt. Damn it! Graves erupt from the local cemetery, and an
That happened, like,
implacable
deep into the
march
movie.
of terror, and beneath the murky surface of the river, a shifting, almost human shape slowly takes form to seek a terrible vengeance.
That was the
Wait, so
synopsis.
is it like a sea monster?
I'm pretty sure this was written by Tommy Wiseau.
That was pretty bad. There was a snake monster in it.
There was a snake monster.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot going on in this
Like
movie.
from the Chamber of Secrets status.
The reason why I feel the need to talk about it is because you and I have made reference to it a few separate times in a couple other podcasts,
Yeah.
unbeknownst to ourselves, I think,
Really, I
sometimes.
think
It was horrible.
it was not great.
Not only was it horrible, but because that was the first movie we did the podcast with, we had no energy.
Yeah.
There was nothing good we could
We
say.
didn't know what to say about
was like-
the movie.
Rather than just screaming, "This was shit! Holy hell!"
It was our first podcast. We were just like, we were trying to find something to talk about. Like, I think I tried to make positive comments about,
You
like.
did. You tried.
I tried.
And the
so
reason
hard.
I'm thinking of this is because we're talking about what movies you could hate. This movie, obviously, you hated,
Yeah.
but
I
you
found
still.
positive moments in it.
I can't deal with you sometimes, man.
There was 1 second when that girl was trying to act that her eyebrows looked authentic, like something specific.
I would like to remind you that she rode a ghost bike.
Yes.
Go Spike.
Let me explain this scene. She was coming down the street. You could see her feet pedaling, and she had her hands out on her handlebars. But there was no bike. Why? Because they thought, oh, it's too realistic if she's on a bike. That's not going to be creepy. So instead, she floats in the air, pedaling nothing.
Go Spike.
Ghost
It was
bike.
spooky.
It was not.
spooky.
It was not.
That sounds so spooky,
so
guys.
spooky.
All I could hear in my head was.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she was
God, it
zombie
was such a
girl,
bad movie.
zombie/ghost girl in it.
But there
Yeah,
was
and then-
also a snake monster.
Then a murderer. Then the guy, the actual murderer.
They didn't even actually bring up the murderer ever again.
Yeah, he did. Remember at the end, he tries murdering his like teenage girlfriend.
Oh, that's right.
That was a creepy. He was a creep.
I don't even remember who the murderer
It
was.
sounds like
was-
they had a lot of plots in this movie.
He was
Oh
the
my God,
bank
so many.
owner that owned the house.
He
He was the son of the bank owner. And Christopher Lloyd was the original bank owner.
And then his son ends up like killing him, right, or something,
Yeah.
something like
Sure.
that. I don't know.
Then there was like a cop too. They try to blame the black guy too.
Yeah, that was the whole story. Blame
Yeah.
the black guy.
Oh,
It was-
Who
every
is the
story.
teacher?
He was the teacher. He was the girl. He was the girl's teacher.
But she was last with him before she disappeared off her bike or whatever. So that was a movie.
That wasn't. Was it a movie?
That was,
It was
a
not a
thing.
movie.
That was a thing.
So there we go. We finally gave our review on that damn movie.
I did not like that one.
That was a horrible movie. Good God. I felt the need to bring that up because we are hitting 21 episodes now.
Really?
Yeah.
We can drink.
Woo!
We can drink. Leonard's not going to, but
Yeah.
I can drink.
Podcast can drink.
I'll drink enough for the three of us.
There you go.
So to anybody who's actually been listening to any of these, we really appreciate it, and we hope that we're doing an at least okay job.
Yeah.
We have mouths and opinions, and we try and use our mouths to do our opinions.
And we're gonna
do our opinions.
we're turning a corner here, though. We're gonna grow up a little bit. We're gonna work on a website so we can actually have a little bit.
We're gonna be big kids.
We're
Mind
gonna-
you, everyone, please remember that this podcast is only 2 months old.
That's crazy.
We're
I feel like
babies.
I feel like
It feels like I should have been doing this my whole life.
right. I mean, I feel like I have been
Was
doing it this my whole
podcasting
life.
a
I've
thing in
been
the
enjoying
80s? When you were born?
All right, we gotta go so I can kill her. We're gonna have a new person on now, not Celeste.
Oh.
Are you going to replace me with Fred?
Well,
Fred the podcaster?
might be interesting to go to him for
A pug? What did
for
you
comments.
say?
I'll be yeah.
So
There's
Fred, okay,
Fred.
in Baahubali, who was your favorite character, Fred? Yes, I agree. Katapa was my favorite character.
Does he sleep in the room with you guys? I wouldn't be able
he
to sleep.
sleeps on the floor though,
Yeah.
because he's way
Well,
too.
see, Leonard
pushy.
snores, Fred snores, I snore.
Oh,
We're just
Yeah.
all meant to be.
That must be a beautiful
Murray,
sound.
who doesn't snore,
Murray, our
sleeps
little black
downstairs.
dog.
Murray's
Yeah,
like,
he's not
Dad.
dealing with it. All right. Anybody got any recommendations? We haven't actually done that in a while.
oh, we haven't.
Oh man.
I can't
So
wait for Tom Clancy, the new show in Prime.
Oh, when did we start?
The Tom Clancy
I've not
show.
heard that.
What's the... We started watching Lady Dynamite the other day on Netflix.
Oh yeah. I'm not 100% sold on that.
See, I watched the first episode like a long time ago, and then Leonard watched it recently, and I was there. And I feel like I might give it a chance because the second season looks good.
I'm just confused why every so often she turns into a sheep. I don't get it.
Well, she was crazy, Leonard. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
can tell. I can fucking tell.
So try Lady Dynamite.
All right, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but Shot in the Dark. Have I mentioned
Yeah,
that?
I think you did.
I think I did.
Because you're just like super obsessed.
I'm really obsessed with it, guys. We should watch it right now.
You should.
Let's do it.
Oh, okay, it's called Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. It's based off the Tom Clancy books.
Oh.
Jack Ryan. It has what's his
It's
name?
a series?
Yeah, it's gonna be a series. It's not coming out. It hasn't come out yet.
What? Like the Jack Ryan movies that came out?
Hmm. And John Krasinski is playing Jack Ryan.
Oh, I like Tom Cruise.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Jack Reacher. That's Reacher.
That's Jack Reacher. No, Jack Ryan.
Never mind. I don't
Tom
give a
Cla-
shit about
Tom Clancy's
this.
also a video game. Tom Clancy's like Splinter Cell and stuff like that, and Ghost Recon, all those games. Tom Clancy. Okay.
Tom Clancy.
It's based
Yes,
off a
I know
book.
who that is.
Yeah, it's based off a book.
And what was it called?
But Jim is playing Jack Ryan, so
Hang on.
Okay.
There's one more thing that I want to
Oh,
watch.
I have heard of that.
yeah.
Okay.
There's one more thing I want to watch. And
Okay,
I want,
she's looking this
I
up.
want other people to watch it. I want people to watch it because I want to watch it.
Is it Voyeur? Because I really want to watch Voyeur.
What's Voyeur?
Voyeur is a documentary about a guy that bought a hotel
Yes, it's
just
that
to
one.
watch people do things in his hotel.
What?
And it's a
And
documentary.
he built an observatory over
like
their
above
rooms.
their rooms.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
I want to watch it, so everyone
really
should
good.
watch it. We'll watch it and we'll talk about it on Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You're weirder than that guy.
If you're figuring this out now, you haven't been paying close enough attention. All right, everyone. I think we're good. I think our shenanigans have come to an end here for yet another episode of Direct Review. And of course, like always, I'd like to thank my beautiful and lovely, talented. You know, I was going to make that joke, and now I'm not gonna because, quite frankly, you think too highly of yourself,
Yeah, and we all know
Mr.
Leonard.
Thomas.
We all know that Leonard doesn't think I'm beautiful, so.
Oh.
No, I think you're gorgeous.
Oh. Smooth
Husband of the year.
like Shiva. Wipe that makeup on her.
Oh,
With your,
no, we're stopping there. All right.
he used his blood for her
There we
lipstick, by the
go.
way.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh.
Hopefully he's been tested. Anyways, to everyone out there, thank you so much for listening in these, I don't know how many weeks it's been.
21 episodes. Well, you said 2 months, but 8 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And of course, for Mr. Trev Thomas.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
And Celeste.
Riddles.
And to anyone out there who enjoys Hindi movies, make sure to tune in next week to find out the conclusion.
I can't wait. I'm
it's
so
called The
freaking
Conclusion.
excited. I was so hyped after this movie. Like I was like ready to like knock down a
Maybe
wall.
we should do like a watch party. Maybe we should do a watch party.
Yes, let's
With
do
who?
it.
The
Let's
three of
do
us,
it.
because no one else has seen the first one.
I got up. I was ready to watch
I'm
that
good.
second. I was like, it was like 12, and I still want to watch the 2nd one.
We'll make food.
There you
I
go.
love food. I love food.
I know exactly what we can do. There
Indie
is a
food.
pizza place nearby that does Indian pizza.
What?
Across
The
the
tikka
street.
masala pizza and all that
Let's
stuff.
do it.
Let's
Tikka
do
masala.
it.
We're having tikka masala
Let's
pizza.
do it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, we're going to
It's
go
a
do
date.
this. We will see you next week. If we get food poisoning,
will not see
will
you.
see you the following week.
You'll hear us next week.
You'll hear everything. Also, we watch you because we're voyeurs. Anyways,
Leonard's weird.
yeah, I know. Have a wonderful whatever time of the day it is. And keep on streaming, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What? Bye?
Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh. You're fired.
you know
You're
what?
fired.
I'm going to
already
hit stop
said
now.
bye.
I'm hitting stop.
Fake news.